I'm Silly Lily. Hello, Kitty. You guys, we have two amazing guests today, okay? If you're new here, again, this is Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily, and every week I have two amazing guests that come on and talk about a lesson life has taught them. And I absolutely love this show. I'm really excited for today. Both of these topics, they hit home a little bit. So I'm really curious to see and to hear their sides and their versions of it. You know what I mean? Like, as I've been through some of the same stuff, how did they handle it? You know, how did it help them? So yeah, I'm excited for today. And then we do this every week, Friday, 10 a.m. We will do a quote and a question. I end every show with it, and that's what was up in the top there. And then we will talk about that here in a few minutes. And then at the end of the show, I will do another quote and question, which we will save for next week. Unfortunately, you guys, this is a featured show. So if you are not a guest on this show, I'm not going to be able to let you in the box. If you're interested in being a guest on this show, however, you are more than welcome to reach out to Emoji J. He will put his information down here, and we can look at getting you on a show in the future. Okay. Yeah, right there, Emoji J, the one that just oh my God, posted, welcome to Lessons Learned. If you would like to be on the show, message, yep, that guy right there. You guys, everybody, welcome. I am very excited for the show today. I may move a lot. I'm going to fair warn some of you guys. I had a little accident and I kind of hurt myself a little bit. So sitting, standing, everything's uncomfortable. We're going to push through for this hour. But Kid A and Vibes, it is not you if you see me sitting here and I'm going like this, or it's not you. Please understand now, it is not you guys, okay? It's me and I'm just hurting. But we're going to get through it because there was no way I was missing this show. There's absolutely no way today wasn't happening, okay? So I wanted to give especially my guests that heads up, because I'm sure at some point I'm going to go, oh, or I'm going to make a face when I move. And I don't want you to be like, oh, wow. It's not you guys, okay? I also want to make sure everybody here knows that Kite, nor Vibe, nor myself are professionals, okay? I mean, we might be professional. Well, I'm not going to say it's a featured show, but sometimes I say I'm a professional butthole. I'm really good at being that. But we are simply people who've been through something and are interested in sharing that with you in hopes that it helps you get through something, because you never know what someone's going through. And you may not connect necessarily with the messages, but I will say, and I say this all the time, I had one guest that came on my show, you guys, okay? And I understood the story, I listened and I heard, right? But it wasn't my time, right? I hadn't been through that. I hadn't experienced it. So I listened and I learned, right? And I'm going to be damned if 3 days later, I didn't find myself in a situation where I needed that advice. I needed the advice that I had heard. So you never know. You never, ever know what you're going to learn and when you're going to need something that somebody says. So I absolutely love that. And then again, you guys, I want to shout out to Emoji J. He's the one that helps me keep this show going. He finds my guests, he makes my flyers, and he's amazing. So make sure you have him favorited as well. And then, of course, get them top 3 gifters. Make sure you're favoriting them because, you know, they're huge supporters of mine as well as many others on this app, okay? So let's show them some love. I've got Scantron in here right now. I know he's up there on the list, as well as Kid A Commander, and they both have shows that they host. So favorite them, check them out, please, please, please. Let's see, what am I missing? I will turn the comments and stuff off. Hi, Caitlin. I will turn the comments and stuff off when the guests get in my box, because otherwise, like what's happening right now, I get distracted and I want to keep thanking you for the gifts, but I like to give my attention to my guests, okay? So I want to say thank you now for all of the favorites, and thank you all for the gifts, and thank you for keeping the chat rolling. I will turn the chat back on towards the end of our conversation so that we can hold on. Leave it to me, right? It's probably right in this stack that I had here. Hold on. I probably picked it up with this. Hold on. Ah, here we go. See, told you. All right, you guys ready? All right, so Kitay, I'm going to have you, Sissy, please stop requesting the box, honey. If you want to be on the show, but like I just said, I've already repeated this. This is a featured show. If you'd like to be on the show, you have to reach out to Jay and we can talk then. But right now, today is about Vibe and Kitay, okay? So Kitay, request the box for me just so that I can see you sitting there. I know that you're ready, but I will not let you in until I ask you and you're ready. So living well is the best revenge. To you, what one thing would mean living well? Okay. Living well is the best revenge. To you, what one thing would mean living well? Eating healthy, living sober. Joe wants to live near Jupiter. Casey breathing when he told me I can't breathe without him. Okay. Good health. Peace. Self-care. Yes, self-care. That's our middle segment, you guys. We do that in the middle of the show. We stop. That was a good one. Scantron Bo says surrounding yourself with positive people. Drew. Leaving the past in the past. Mental stability. Oh my God, you guys, these are amazing. Carry on with life and loving your best life from Smiley. Letting yourself be happy and knowing your worth from Jiggly Giggly. Being sound of mind when making decisions and enjoying the little things. Oh my God, you guys, this is great. Travel and of course coffee. I was surprised you didn't say coffee in the first place, Smiley. Living well means that you live your life to the fullest, not holding to trivial things. So I'm gonna stop reading them for a second here. I'm gonna say for me, living my best life, and this is gonna sound really, really strange, but I've started to live my best life once I was able to forgive myself and the other people who hurt me in my past. Forgiveness was my key. Because once I could forgive, everything else started to fall into place for me. I held grudges and I was angry and the small things made me so upset, right? And it was really hard to learn that in your mid to late 30s, right? Like you think you're living this great life, but deep inside, you know that you're not super happy, right? You feel it, you're out there and you're with your friends and you're laughing and you're having fun, but deep inside, you're still upset about things. And that's because you haven't learned to forgive, and you need to forgive. Don't ever forget. You'll never forget, because what you've been through is what's made you who you are today. And I've been through a lot of crap, okay? I regret some of my decisions, but also everything that I've done, every choice that I've made, good or bad, it's made me who I am today. And I've learned to love myself today, mostly through forgiveness. I had to forgive myself for a lot of really stupid things, guys, and that was so hard. But Kitay, when you are ready, I'm going to have you get in the box. That one, I think that was my favorite Q&Q so far, But yeah, the forgiveness falls into that peace of mind and the acceptance, and it allows you to move past and to just be successful and be happy with all things that you try, right? Kitay, are you here? Hello, everybody coming in. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Lessons Learned. I am Silly Lily, and we're going over this quote. We're going to give Kitay another minute or two here, and then Vibe, I might have to switch you over to first if you're here. I've seen her here, so I don't know. Oh. All right, yay, she's in. All right, Kitty, give me 30 seconds. So it says living well is the best revenge. To you, what one thing would mean living well, right? So we had so many amazing answers within that. I can't even repeat them all, but my answer to that, you guys, was forgiveness, so that you can love yourself, so that you can excel to do all things. You could be better. You'd be better at everything, So Kitay, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Kitay, and I am so excited. High five me, Nemo. But I got to turn the comments off because I'm going to keep responding to them, and I'm not allowed to do that. All right, Kitay, I'm letting you in. Be ready. Here we come. Don't be picking wait, where'd you go? You keep disappearing. No, come back. It says you're not here. It says there's no guest. Oh boy. All right, that's okay. That's okay, because you know what? It's technology, and when it comes to me and technology, nothing ever goes well. So it takes 2 tries, sometimes 3, but we always get there. It always works. She'll just leave and she'll come right back. It's absolutely no big deal. So I know like I said, I'm excited for her topic. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about her, and to see what she has going on with her streaming life. I don't know her all too well, but I know her topic is gonna pack a punch. I mean, as his popcorn, he's ready to go. And yeah, you guys, that's the other thing. If you guys know the streamer, while they're in there, you know what I'd like to start seeing even my people do is what I see Jiggly Giggly there. Spam the hell out of their emojis. And when you're a guest on here, tell them, spam your emojis. Let people know that your people are here. So let's make sure that whoever's in the box, guys, let's be spamming their emojis, right? Let's show them some love. Saharith Yadav, this is a featured show. I cannot let you in my box. I got excited. I thought she was ready. So here we go. Oh, wait. Kitty, yay. All right, Vibe, you'll be on hold. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Am I here?
You are here. I love the hair. I'm jealous. My color's so faded.
Hold on. I'm lagging a little bit.
A little bit, but not too bad.
It usually, it takes a second. Yep, here. I'm coming.
Yay! It happens. So,
right.
Happy Friday. I want to start off first. Thank you so much for being here and being willing to share one of your life lessons with us. And I know that you're pretty prepped on it, so I'm going to hand the show over to you.
All right, cool. So basically, this is what I've learned from being involved with highly toxic, narcissistic, deceptive individuals. Now, my eyes have been opened, truly. Because before getting involved with these people, I can't lie, I was pretty naive. And I didn't realize at that time how naive I was until I started learning about what attracts these people to me in the first place. Because I took a step back and I had to realize I keep attracting the same people, different faces, different bodies, same person underneath. So I was like, okay, this is a pattern now. So what am I doing that's attracting these people? Now, I'm going to give a brief rundown on basically what narcissism is. Narcissism is basically people who are self-absorbed. They think everything's about them. They could care less about you. It's their way or the highway. There's grandiose narcissism, the people who are very confident. They're yeah, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that, And then there's the people who are more sheepish that kind of come off like Eeyore in a sense, oh, poor me, life is bad, yada, yada. And they play victim. Now, those are the people in both of those types I would stay away from. Grandiose narcissism, they can be aggressive, dominant. They might come in and be very domineering about your life, and another thing is these are kind of just red flags. If someone wants to know everything about you when they first meet you, or if they have no interest at all in your life, those are both red flags. There needs to be balance. If there isn't balance, then something is off. Yes, love bombing is another very, very big thing. They'll come in, they act they're so great. Oh, look at everything that I'm doing for you. Yeah. However, are their actions truly reflecting that, or is it just something that they're saying that they're doing? So, a lot of these people, they can talk a good talk, but can they walk the walk, So basically, though, what I had to learn was that I needed boundaries, because I didn't realize that I was really lacking boundaries. If you keep attracting people to you and they're obsessed with you and they can't get enough of you, that means you got poor boundaries. And, it is what it is. And I had to learn that I needed to start strengthening those in order to stop attracting those people. I had to start keeping my life a little bit more private. And I had to stop people pleasing. That was the biggest thing. They look for people pleasers specifically. So if you're someone who is like always going above and beyond for other people, you're a target. So the things that you can do to make yourself not as much of a target is put the boundaries in place, do minimal contact. You know, if you recognize that someone in your life is a narcissist, it is best to cut them off. However, that's not realistic for everyone. So if you can't cut them off, say for example, you have children with someone and they are a narcissist or highly toxic, don't pay too much attention to the terms. It doesn't really matter if they're a narcissist or not. But if they are highly toxic and you can't cut them off, the best thing is minimal contact. Don't give them a lot of information about your life. Keep the conversations brief. Another tactic that they'll do is try to guilt trip you to get their way. It all ties down to manipulation. You know, they're seeking control, and it's more so them because like they don't have control over their own life. And but yeah, so like the best things to do, educate yourself, you know, put the boundaries in place, speak up, and make sure that if you are asking something of them, that they understand what you're asking. Or if you're trying to put boundaries down, make sure that they understand the boundary. So if you get to a point where you have stated your boundary to this person, you're like, listen, I need to go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. And every single night they're trying to keep you up until 1 on the phone or whatever. You know, that's when you're like, okay, now you keep pushing my boundaries. So that means now, first off, you yourself need to strengthen your boundaries, but also that's not healthy at all. That is a sign that someone is going to be toxic and manipulative, because if they will try and see how many boundaries of yours that they can push. So if they can get through one little thing, what else can they get through, right?
Right.
So, and the other thing is stay calm, don't engage. If they start flipping out when you do put a boundary down, because people who are highly toxic, if you put a boundary down, it's going to trigger them. Yeah. So, or they might try and guilt trip. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be either they lash out with aggression, or they're going to try and manipulate and make you feel guilty or bad. It's really about, they look for, what do you respond to? Do you respond to guilt, fear, shame? What do you respond to? So if you're a people pleaser, for example, you're going to respond to guilt. Or if you've been through a lot of hardships in your life, you're going to be a little more empathetic and sympathetic and more understanding about someone who has had such a terrible life. Now, I'm not saying these people haven't had terrible lives. It's possible. If anything, I think if you're a narcissist or highly toxic, you are kind of miserable because you're going to be the one who pushes everyone away. And that's not healthy either. But yeah, stay calm. And if they lash out at you, think of them as a 3-year-old who's throwing a tantrum. That is like the best advice I can give to you. I'll give a brief example real quick. Now, one of my exes that I was with, basically he would try anything under the sun to try and trigger me. And I would sit there and I knew what he was doing. So I would sit there and be calm and quiet. And I would, I would let him throw his fit. That makes them lash out too sometimes. He screamed in my face that I am an unemotional B word. So because of the fact that I wasn't responding. And to that, honestly, I just laughed because the week prior, he was telling me that I'm too emotional, which I'm not. It's projections. So that is the biggest thing, But yeah, and create a support system. Like if you recognize that you're in a very toxic relationship and you want to get out of it, make sure that you have friends who are on your side who can be there to support you. Like, say, for example, you need to go and drop off clothes or you need to pick something up from that person's house or from them in general. Make sure you have a friend with you. That way, not only do you have a witness, but also they're going to be a little less likely to lash out if they see that you're with someone else. The thing is, they want to get you alone. Now, people who are targets, if you have low self-esteem, low self-worth, if you are a people pleaser, if you lack boundaries, if you have mental health issues, and I'm sorry, but this is the truth. You know, it could be something as simple as anxiety or depression. It makes you a target. It does. And yes, yes, what Michael said, they need to get you alone to gaslight. You know, sometimes they will let the mask slip in front of other people, but it's very rare.
For those that don't know, will you describe gaslighting?
So gaslighting is basically crazy making. So it makes you question your reality. So for example, like say that you're in an argument with someone, they're like, I never said this, but you know for a fact that they said it. They're trying to make you question your perception, your reality, and make you think that that didn't happen. Or it could be like another thing completely. It could be like an event. It could be, you know, like, oh, well, yeah, we went over here. And you're like, I never went there before. What are you talking about? Right. You know, I've met people on here who have told me that they've known me for years. And I'm like, you couldn't have, because I've only been on here for a year. I've never met you before. You just came into my stream recently. Yes, and lies too. Another big thing that's a red flag, just saying, is people, yes, who constantly lie, but people who omit things that are very important for the other person to know. Say they're getting into a relationship with each other and you fail to mention that you're going through a divorce, or you fail to mention that you are still married, or you fail to mention that you're on a registry somewhere, or you fail to mention that, you know, you have domestic violence on your record, or you have kids. Yep, it doesn't matter what the lie is about, but omission is a lie. And once someone shows you who they are for the first time, believe them. Don't, you know, try not to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because if you see that someone is being very toxic, very manipulative, recognize it, accept it, and, you know, you can forgive them, you know, and you can just be like, okay, this is how they are, and I recognize that. And then what you do is, you know, what I had just said, you know, make minimal contact, try not to engage as much, and it doesn't matter what kind of guilt trip they give you either. You know, you need to do what is best for you at the end of the day, and you can't fill anyone else's cup if yours is empty. So that's the other thing.
I believe that totally. I had to put the comments on there for a little bit. I feel like you started interacting with them, so I was like, oh, I better turn them on here for a minute.
I know, right?
It's like, wow, there's a lot packed into that. So I would say that I definitely fell into that. I was really naive for a really, really long time. Being an empath, I see the good in everybody. With like, it's a flaw that I don't. It's a flaw that I can't get past that. And oh man, I've dated some real turd buckets, but
yeah,
I think that it has taught me to be stronger. I didn't have boundaries. I had no boundaries when I was in my first couple relationships. And the first guy that I was with was a narcissistic to a T. So just like you were saying, one week it was this, 1 week it was that, and then I was back to this, and then it's too much. And then and then he actually ended up like, he went into some weird mental state and like freaked out and was like breaking stuff over his head, like smashing picture frames. And when he threw something at me, I grabbed my kid, I grabbed the purse and on the brakes really fast, and he rolled off and I took off. I have to laugh because it was so bad. But that was like one of those moments where can I tell you, I still went back to him twice after that.
I'm not surprised. And it's because of the fact that these people manipulate, and it's not your fault. You know, like when you do go back, it's not your fault. However, you do have to take responsibility and realize that, you know, like if you recognize that someone is being manipulative and then you go back, now that's on you. But if you don't recognize it and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, it's absolutely not your fault.
No, back then I was young and dumb. I'd say the last one I was in, I seen the red flags and I ignored them. But that was my final draw. I was like, you know what? I seen him, I seen it coming, and I still allowed this crap to happen. Like, we're done with it. Like, it, so now I do. I have my boundaries, I have my rules, I have my expectations. I'm not going to say there's time limits or, you have to reach certain things by certain times, but I do have expectations, even in my friends. I have expectations. I expect if I ask you something and you don't think that I want to hear the right answer, I don't give a crap. Give me the truth, because that's what a friend is going to do. Even if I don't want to hear it, even if it's wrong, like Kitty. Okay. I talked to Kitty, that poor girl, and I can't call her all the time because our shortest conversation was 3 hours. Our Kitty and I think we've had maybe, an hour or something here or there, but Kitty and I have it's 2, 3, 4 hours every single time. But we talk about everything, and we don't talk a lot, but she gets me through a lot of my little situations. She helps me. She helps me on the app. She helps me with my shows, and she helps me, get stuff organized. So I talk hours, and I'll ask her stuff, and I don't always like the answer. And she'll go, you're not going to like the answer, but this is how it is. And I listen because she's been through it already, So for those of you just tuning in, this is Kitty. I am I'm Killy Lilly. I am silly Lilly. Oh. Ay. Silly Lilly. I'm not killing over here, okay? I promise.
Oh, she's just living up to her name. Don't worry. Don't pay attention. So anyway.
Watching Let's Learn with Silly Lilly, and this is Kitty. We're talking about dealing with narcissistic behavior and how we need to recognize the red flags and how we have to set our own boundaries so that they can't walk all over us. I want to thank you for the gifts. I want to thank you all for the favorites. They mean the world to me. And I'm sorry that I cannot respond to every comment, but my attention right now for a couple more minutes. I don't know if there's anything else you have to say about this, or if you would like to tell us, when can we find you streaming? Do you have your IG, Snapchat? Give us a little bit about you. Auctions, battles coming up, any of that stuff.
So I'm going to be in 3 more featured shows. I'm going to be in one tonight at 11 p.m. EST with West Side Story. It's Put It in Words. And tomorrow, Saturday, at 2 p.m., I'm going to be on Tandem Talent with Divine Phases. And then at 6 p.m. on Sunday, I'm going to be with D'Angelo Jones on The Cutoff.
You took my spot. I was asked to do it. No. I started a new job, and I need this job, and I start at 6, so I had to back out.
No worries.
Yeah, so I do, but I think when I told him when I go on vacation, I'll be going on vacation next month, that I'll let him know, and I see if he can get me in on, because I really wanted to do the show. I feel like it's going to be a really good show, so hopefully he can get me in on that. But
so I'll end this on a poem too.
Do you have specific times you stream or anything like that? Oh, that's right, you're doing the poem.
No, I don't really have specific times I stream. I'm a dog walker, pet sitter, so it's kind of like whenever I'm available to stream, I hop on. All right, so when we are close to a situation, sometimes we can fail to see what others can with vivid clarity. Deceit and trickery, a sociopath's mastery. Victims blame themselves for being naive. But why aren't we holding these people accountable for manipulating innocent people? We must set boundaries, because nothing triggers a toxic individual more than knowing that they can't get what they want. When they don't get their way, a tantrum ensues. The room balloons with tension and irritated energy. Irate that you can see through their deceptive ways, projections onto you like you're the one to blame, because God forbid, they're the one who's insane. They shame you with snide remarks like, you don't care, you don't want to help me, you can't see that I'm trying, when the cold, hard truth is written in their physical behaviors. Don't blindly believe words. Look for actions, and you'll see when there is no proof, that they are trying to change, no proof that they take responsibility for their actions. It's merely a game they play to swindle their prey and make them think they're the one who's delusional or the problem for asking simple questions, for trying to gather the facts. But the evidence lacks. You can figure out the truth by digging into the cracks. Dig, but don't allow yourself to fall down the rabbit hole of their tricks and lies. It's easy to find yourself entangled in their web of fraudulence. So cut the silky strings, the illusion of their words, and walk away with what you have left: knowledge and wisdom, and most importantly, freedom. Find solace and peace that you got away with whatever remains of you. Sit with confidence, self-assurance, and the wisdom that they can no longer betray you. And that's my poem. And I feel like that explains it a hell of a lot better than I even talked it out.
I don't think I've ever applauded anybody on my show yet. So we're just going to do that one more time. Wow. Did you write that?
Of course. Wow. I write a lot of poetry. I have a lot on deception. I have stuff from...
Kitty, I have a show for you on Thursday nights with my buddy Mick Baller. He will love you. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes. I will get you to him on Instagram. Okay. I will connect you to
Yeah. I really want to get into like the poetry slam type stuff.
He has a poetry night. That's what it is. Oh my God.
Awesome. Oh, I go to Creative Soul. She's another streamer on here. She does like writer's block on Wednesdays. She's friends with Divine Phases. So on Saturday, it's going to be epic because we're going to be paired up together. And I'm going to be the first act. And this is at 2 p.m. And then later on, I'm going to be paired up with Creative Soul. And it's going to be amazing. You really don't want to miss that. If anyone likes poetry or talent, come through.
2 p.m. tomorrow, Tandem Talents.
Yep.
Check it out. Make sure you hit
Divine Phases. And it's EST.
Okay. Yep. All right, you guys. I will do my best to be there tomorrow. I shall probably watch you while I get ready for work or whatever. But thank you so much. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Kitty. She just went over how to handle narcissists. You can go whenever you want, or you can listen in the box either way. But thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. You're awesome. And now we're going to do a couple of this self-care, self-love. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you.
No
You're amazing. I can't wait to check your
All right, I'm going to head out. Thank you.
Bye.
I appreciate you having me here, too.
Yes, have a good one, babe. Thank you.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, you guys. So Vibe, give me just a couple minutes and I'll get you in, okay? We're just going to do 2 self-care, 2 self-love because we don't have a whole lot of time for anything else. That went awesome. So let's see. We left off at, here we go. This will actually go with the, I think, hold on. Let me see. Which one did I pick? Oh, okay, here we go. We'll do this. So we're going to start off with, I think we ended last week with cooking and nourishing meal, right? No processed foods, you eat healthy, you eat homegrown, stuff that doesn't have all of the preservatives. That's a good self-care thing. Your body needs that to grow and to stay healthy, right? But another thing for self-care, and it sounds silly, but it's simple. Try something new. Make something new. Maybe it's not healthy, maybe it's just delicious, but try new things. Even if you're scared of change and you're scared to try new things, something as simple as adding something to your dinner or switching it up. Just trying new stuff is a great self-care because you never actually know what you're going to like or what you're actually capable of without trying, right? You have to get your energy flowing. It is so important. We tend to get stagnant. Like I'll sit here a lot. What did I miss? Step out of your comfort zone. Yes. Like I'll sit here a lot. And I move. I can never sit still. My hands are always going. I talk with my hands because I struggle to sit still. But it's, for me, when I get up and I'm walking around and I'm going from here to there, it feels good because I'm moving around. My body's not, I'm not just sitting around. I'm not just being lazy, I get out, go for a walk, go to the gym. My work keeps me busy. I bartend and I remodel homes. So during the daytime, I'm you know, God knows, up on a ladder. I'm doing drywall, tile, roofing, painting, siding, gutters. You know, it's all crazy. I do all kinds of stuff. And then I'm on my feet all night, running around serving people their food and drinks, you know. So that makes me feel better because I don't necessarily get to the gym as much, but I definitely stay active. All right, guys, now I have a couple questions for you. Are you ready? Do the people around you make you energized? Do the people you surround yourself with give you energy? Absolutely, says Vibe. Marie says yes. Melbell says yes. Kitty's giving us the praised hands. Madame says no. Scantron says 100%. High Value says some. Jim says yes. Now, when I have to pick up after my kids, I feel that, man. I feel that. It is so important, you guys, that the people that we surround ourselves with, not only do they give us positive energy, but like we're positive around them. You know, positivity breeds positivity, negativity breeds negativity. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly blah, 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 my life is blah, kind of like she was saying with the narcissist, you know, poor me, poor me. What is that doing for your mental state of health? How is that like, that's not good. That's not good for them. Give them a hug. Maybe, I don't know. Try hugging them. But yeah, you do sort of become your surroundings, right? Friends aren't anchors, right? There's, I don't know. They're not anchors, but they kind of are. Like everybody has their person, right? You'll never, yeah. If you don't get rid of the wrong friends, you'll never have room for the right friends, right? That's a good one, Vibe. And then Archie Bunker says, friends can't and held back. Yeah, hold on. Friends can be your best anchor, Vibe. They can, but also I see I think he means like the negative people. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. If you're just tuning in, I'm Silly Lily. You just missed Kitty, and she did an amazing. She had an amazing poem she read, first of all, but she's dealt with narcissistic people and just she went through a lot, and I think anybody that's in that situation now, I think that might help. You know, you never know. There's lots of people in narcissistic situations and they don't even know it, right? All right, one more question. One more question. Who or what inspires you? Who or what inspires you? Vibe, after they answer this, I'm going to have you get in the box. Can someone please take care of that for me? Why are you in red not taking care of that? Vibe, I'm late. I'm waiting for some answers, but there's somebody being very disrespectful and they need to be taken. I'll just take them out. I got it. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I don't usually have to do this. Usually my peoples take care of that. Thank you, Bree. Thank you. All right. So anyways, now I don't even remember what I was talking about. Sorry. That's why I keep the comments off when I have the guests, because that kind of stuff, it's just not okay. It's not okay. I work my butt off. It says, who or what inspires you? I think people and things all around me inspire or affect. Yes, Melbell, I believe that too. 100%. 100%. I feel like, and then that's part of, you know, do the people around you give you energy? It kind of all goes together, right? My kids, my grandma, my job, my bosses. I have a lot of people that inspire me to be better. And that's what you know, you gotta want to be better, and you have to have people around you that are better than you so you can keep learning, right? In order to succeed, you have to learn. And the more that you work with somebody that knows something, the more you're going to learn, because we don't have the answers. All right, Vibe, you ready? Let him in. All right. Well, hello. Let me remove this other person trying to get in the box, please. Or wait, if I hit remove all, will it take you out? I hope not.
Vibe.
Oh goodness. All this fancy stuff makes me feel like I need to learn it, you know? You guys, if you're just
It's-
tuning in and watching
okay.
this is Vibe. I'm Silly Lily, and I'm now going to let him tell us what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, so check this out, you guys. Have you ever had an existential crisis and not know where to go? Well, I'll tell you what. 5 months ago, I was in a pretty okay place. I was scrolling YouTube one day and I came across a gentleman named David Goggins. And I don't know if any of you have ever heard of him, but he's a motivational speaker, except for that's what everybody calls him. Whereas what he calls himself is the hardest mother on the planet.
Ooh, watch. F-bomb. I know.
That's why we got the censor button.
I know.
That's why we got a censor button.
I know.
Media approved. So the thing with David Goggins is he is a he's a very alpha male type person. He's a very put your blinders on, stop worrying about what other people are talking about you. Don't care what other people say about you. Haters are going to hate. You can walk on water if you could walk on water. Haters are still going to tell you you can't walk on water because you can't swim. That's the only reason why you can walk on water is because you can't swim. And haters will say that to you regardless of whether they see what you're doing or not. But the thing is if you don't use that as like a motivation, if you let it beat you down and be that anchor that I'm talking about, whether it's friends who tell you you're not going to succeed in what you do, friends who tell you they don't believe in what you do, family members, all these other things. If those kind of negativity things are going on in your life, just like Kitty was saying, that toxic behavior, you got to learn to cut it out. But then on the flip side, you also have to learn how to respect other people as human beings. So you have to find a balance. And once you understand and find that balance within yourself, you're able to make changes to yourself drastically and, believe it or not, instantly. 5 months ago, after I watched those videos, I started working out. I started going on runs. I quit smoking. I quit smoking cigarettes. Boom, instant, cold turkey, one day, haven't gone back since. Not a big problem. And honestly, once you get that mental capacity of understanding that once you get past that 40% of pain and you start going through that extra suffering and your body starts acclimating to that suffering, then you continue to move on. And then you can sit there and go, holy shit. I just went through this tough freaking problem that a lot of people are struggling with. But then when you go back and you realize that it honestly wasn't that hard to begin with. And that's all it takes is you have to believe in yourself. And when I say that, that means you have to hold yourself accountable for every little thing that you do, regardless of how big or small it is. Nobody is in control of you but you. You have the choice to open your mouth. Only you can choose to open or close your hand. And the thing is once you do those kind of things, you start your own happiness starts to grow. It starts to develop. Things start coming together. You start living in a frequency that's starting to go with the way that you're trying to, because you realize once you cut all the extra stuff out, you start eliminating the hate. You start getting rid of the toxicity, drawing those lines with people. Scantron has known me for quite a while, and I'm a very particular person. But there's a reason I'm particular, and I refuse to let other people walk on me anymore because I've done it my whole life. I still am a people pleaser. I let people come in the stream all the time and be like, hey, we should do this. You know what? Okay, let's do it. Because why? It makes people happy that, hey, I'm not charging people to do whatever. I'm just having fun with it. And that the biggest thing is that when you start to accept what's going on around you and not fight things, and you start moving more with the flow of what's going on around you instead of causing a problem here to cause a problem there. If you don't start a problem anywhere, there won't be a problem. Yeah. Right? You know the song that I want to say, but you guys know, don't start, no, there won't be no. You got it, you know. But you have to start learning to be more accepting. And then you switch over to somebody like Alan Watts, who's a complete opposite of David Goggins. who's more of a mentalist and who will tell you like, this is where you are in the world. We are all part of the same ocean, but we're all our own separate little waves, but we're still all one big thing. You know, once you start making those realizations that there's things that are in your control and things that are not in your control. When they're in your control, then, you know, it's what I can do. I can control what's around me by what I do, how I respond to people, how people respond to me. That's not up to me. That's on them. So personally, at that point, it's a them problem. If they don't understand and accept the truth, I'm not going to sit there and fight for the truth, because you know what? It's not worth the time or the extra energy when you can be productive. And that's what I was getting to earlier when I was saying that you can't have the right friends if you don't get rid of the wrong ones. You know, don't worry about that. I can't even see it, so no problems. You know, it's this. You know, it's a wild thing to think about. But then once you start realizing it and start balancing those things, like, you know, let's say you and your partner get into an argument and your partner storms off and walks away, but you continue to do what you're doing, working or whatever it may be. But then they come at you later on and they're like, you know, I don't appreciate being ignored. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. I wasn't ignoring you. You walked off. I'm over here trying to continue to work because I'm not going to let this ruin my day. I can't let it sit there and drag me down further, because we're not making any progress. You can't move forward if you don't move your feet. You can't. And you have to take that step forward, no matter how small that step may be. It's simple. And once you start understanding that inspiration isn't found from somebody else. You get inspired by yourself beating your own accomplishments, not what other people are doing, but by what you do. If you don't run and you want to start running and be like, oh, I want to run a mile. It's not going to be easy to run a mile right off the bat. You got to walk before you can run, right? But yeah, it's going to suck. But the more you do it, it's not going to suck as much. It's going to get better and better. And then, you know, who knows? You'll end up like David Goggins running over 100 miles a week at 45 years old.
Well, thanks.
It's insane. The guy's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most push-ups in 24 hours, like 14,000 push-ups. He was 300 pounds. And then he ended up becoming one of the first ever triple crossover freaking military guys.
That was the one the first one I listened to with David Goggins was they told him he couldn't do it. And then he was explaining how they were in the water and freezing for days and stuff. And he had to realize that in order to help himself, he had to help the other people and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, yes.
Right, absolutely.
My biggest motivation is the one that got me through a lot, and I would literally give anything to meet her, is Mel Robbins. Like, I like girl crush. I know she's married and everything like that, but I'm telling you, girl crush 101, and not because like, oh my gosh, it's hot, but because she's absolutely freaking amazing. She's got me waking up every day and I high five myself in the mirror, you guys. I literally wake up every morning and high five myself because of her, you know? And so to me, like, I love her. So for you to have your guy and he got you through stuff, and for her, like, it's crazy how just listening to somebody be positive can really take your mind and change it. It amazes me.
Right. Well, and it's not even a matter of them being positive. It's just them. And unfortunately, as this sounds, with David Goggins, it's the uncensored truth is what it is. Because your mind is the only person or only thing in this planet that you are in a race against, is your mind. Who's in control, you or your mind? Like literally, because you have to make those decisions. You have to say, okay, this is going to suck, but this is the right way to do it. I'm not going to take the shortcut because, you know, it's like a lot of people come to me and like, oh my God, I want to do this setup, how you got it and everything like that. How do I do this? Well, you're going to end up having to go to YouTube and learn, because, you know, that's what I did. Everything on here that you guys see, all the special effects and stuff, is because I spend that time learning how to do it. You know what I mean? It's so hard. It's so difficult. But in the end, it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. I mean, the last 4 months, everything from just my physical health, my mental stability, my financial life, even my streams, like over the last 3 weeks, like it's just been absolutely nuts. And it's because like I'm unforgiving. I'm very unforgiving. And when I say that, I'm unforgiving to myself. If I mess up, I can admit that I messed up. But if other people are like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah about me messing up, then hey, that's on them. But the difference is that I can recognize that, and I don't need to fight for justification from anybody at all, ever, because that's what I deserve. I just deserve equality and respect, just like everybody else.
You froze.
You know? Uh-oh. It's because of the GIFs. Yeah, the PC version doesn't handle GIFs too well sometimes, especially when they're coming like crazy. So I might actually get cut off.
Hold on for a minute, guys. No, it's crazy how the PC can't handle that, but our phones can, right? It's crazy how that works. So what do you think, like after, like how do you, what is the word I'm looking for? How do you reflect your life now versus when you first, you know, this just even the 4 months ago? How are you reflecting on things? Uh-oh, volume. We lost your volume. You guys, you're just tuning in. You're watching Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily. I want to thank you for all the gifts and all the favorites. Unfortunately, I can't respond to all of them, and so for that, I apologize. Yes. Come back. Come back. You guys, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Sometimes when it does this, you got to exit and then come back. You're fine. You're fine. We got this. We've got till 11:15. We can run till 11:15, so we're okay. 10 to 11 is the designated time, but 11:15 is our, I'm going to end that so because it's not coming up. He's very awesome.
There we go.
Yay! Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
How do you reflect on yourself now versus when you started this journey?
So honestly, I started my streaming journey back in 2013 with Justin TV. Didn't go that far, but over the last couple of years, I really dug in and learned how to do stuff. But the biggest thing is self-discipline. It's when you're able to hold yourself accountable. Before, I'm not going to lie to you guys, like I would hide my own personal things. Like my wife, I would talk to her, you know, and I wouldn't tell her full details on things, which in a way is lying, and that's not okay. So now when I talk to people, they might not like the truth, but unfortunately that's not a me problem. The truth is the truth, regardless of how much it hurts. I would, like I was saying before, I would much rather have friends that tell me like, bro, go change your shirt. It looks fucking stupid. Oh, excuse me. It looks ridiculous. Go change your shirt. It looks ridiculous. I bet. So, you know, they go change your shirt. It looks ridiculous. Or why are you wearing this? It looks so ridiculous. You look ridiculous. Now, if the point is to look ridiculous, then, you know, I get it. But if the point isn't to look ridiculous, you guys are going out to the club and you're dressed like, I don't know, one of the village people, who knows? Your friends should be able to tell you and you not get your feelings hurt because they're trying to help you. If you're depressed because you want to find a partner, you're not going to find one. I'm going to be straight up. You are not going to find the right person for you until you are all on your own page, and you have to start telling yourself that you're either on my way or you're in my way. There's a way to do it with friends and everything, the right people surrounding you. But there is, there's a lot of people who don't understand that. There's a lot of people who are like, well, I don't get you. Well, I'm sorry. I do have a younger brother. He's weird, but we're not going there. But cumulatively wise speaking, like as a community, as a streaming community, you guys see it all the time. You have genuine people and you have fake people. The people who are themselves are the ones who are out there. They are uncommon amongst uncommon people. The people who are the same cookie cutter people as everybody else, they're genuinely fake. Straight up. They'll sit there and preach about religion and stuff, but they're not living that life, but they're preaching it, which is, contradictory in my book.
Right.
But who am I to judge? So I don't go to them. I don't mess with those people. I don't. Plain and simple. Genuine play. And they do. Sometimes they get dragged right in the middle of something. And then when they're like, okay, you need to go to your corner. You need to go to your corner. You're wrong and you're wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. Both of you knock it off. I'll see you tomorrow. If people can't be able to do that and sit there, because I've had it happen straight up in stream where two of my bouncers argue with each other, and I have to sit there like the parent, like, hey, knock it off before I put you in timeout.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's a constant thing that you always have to do with yourself. You wake up every day. You know what? You got to start with one problem at a time. Wake up in the morning, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm done lying. And from that moment on, yep, it's the high five. From that moment on, you work on yourself. And then if you lie to yourself, tell somebody, like, look, man, I'm sorry. That was a lie. I shouldn't have said it that way,
Owning up to your stuff. You got to own up, Put on the big girl panties. Go
ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I don't know. You go ahead. Oh my goodness, Beth is. So, what do you think it was? Was there definitely like a specific moment that triggered you to make these changes? Or was it just kind of one of those things you were like, you know what, I just need to make changes?
It was more of an epiphany, more than a situation. It's just like, so it was right before I met Scantron. I kid you not. So Scan met me shortly after I started doing my workouts on stream and trying to figure out what I wanted to do in order. And then I realized, you know what? I'm not working out for anybody on here. Period. I don't do it for your entertainment. I'm doing it for me. So now when I get up in the mornings, I don't stream immediately. I go right in, I go do my workout, and I come back. Why? Because it's for me. Did I freeze again? Oh, there we go. What is going on? Hold on.
Oh no. See, I don't like walking alone. I don't like going. That's why I take you guys with me, because I hate walking alone. I take them to the gym all the time when I'm on the treadmill or the elliptical. Now, if I'm actually lifting weights, I don't take you guys. I won't do that on stream, but I like to have people to talk to. Yeah.
If we're going to be sitting in the living room bored, you get off work and you want to relax and everything, don't be mad at me because I'm still streaming. I love you. And, if you're in your own zone, I'm in my zone. But also at the same time, I'm taking those steps forward, just like she does with her work, and I support her back. So, you know, it's you have to, you know, you have to find a balance.
Yeah. You definitely have to find a balance. I'm guilty. I'm gonna go eat some ice cream now.
That's okay, you know. Yeah, right. Like, I'm guilty. Maybe I should go have a smoke, right?
No, bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Um, you pretty much answered everything that I would ask. I'm like, I'm trying to process. I'm even looking at the questions to see if there's anything. I think you covered everything that I had jotted down to like ask questions about. So other than the reflecting that I asked, how do you approach situations differently? Or do you approach situations differently now?
I do. I approach most situations with an open mind, because you don't understand how bad of a day that person might be having. Because, I mean, let's face it, we all have bad days. I mean, if you look at people like the Dalai Lama and all these gurus and stuff like that, they're normal dudes. They get aggravated like everybody else. But it's in those same moments where they're sitting and saying like, hey, you know, we as human beings can be better than what we are. But the only way that happens is for us to actually just have that that realization. Taryn, what made me see the epiphany? Honestly, I was on stream just cruising YouTube, and I saw this video that popped up that said, "This 4-minute video will change your life." And it did. I would play the video, but unfortunately it has a lot of cussing in it, so therefore I can't. But if you guys want a link to the video, let me know.
Man, I wish you could though. Well, tell us, when can we find you on your IG, snaps, any auctions or battles coming up? What shows do you have? Any of that stuff?
Whew. All right. So today is Friday, so we just had your show today. I've got Blue Eyed Hippies show on Sunday called Who Knows Best. And then
Hold on, don't go any faster because I won't remember.
All right.
Let me get to my damn page. Okay, tomorrow at what time?
That would be 9 p.m. Eastern time.
I'll be at work, but I'll try to tune in when I can. And that was whose show?
It's Blue Eyed Hippies.
Okay.
Who Knows Best? And then, so I've never done like the scheduled battles thing before, but I signed up for one this time. So I signed up for Kitty Commander's cat fight. Okay, August 20th.
I'm in that.
August 20th.
Yes.
I'm at 920 and it's five diamond gifts only. It's my first ever battle that I've ever been signed up for. So like, you know, right. We're gonna try to see, you know.
Fun. I was in her last fives battle and it was a blast.
Nice. And then for me on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, I play a game called Trivia Murder Party. And it's a game where we can play, it's a 10 question round. And at the end of that in between the 10 questions, if you get the question wrong, you basically got to Squid Game it and compete to stay alive in the game. Okay. If you die in the game, you can still win as a ghost, because at the very end we do a fire round where there's one body and 7 ghosts. One of those ghosts has a chance to steal the body and escape with life, and then the winner gets a brand new car that I put in my drive-through scene. So there's 8 players together, but here's the catch. The audience can connect too, and we can host up to 10,000 people in the audience, and they can change the entire game. Oh, did I mention that the audience can win too? So there's all sorts of wild different things that we can do. It's not the only game I do, but Saturdays, 3 p.m. Pacific is when I've been trying to do it.
That's 6 p.m. for me Eastern, right?
Yes. At 6 p.m. Eastern time. Chris Casper actually wrote out about a week ago wanting to sit down and schedule a meeting to talk about turning it into a show. So waiting for that, but it's going to be.
You'll be great at it. You'll have. I love hosting. When do you stream? When do we find you on?
Every day, just about. I'm on about all day, every day, just about. I usually get offline probably by 8 p.m. Eastern time, but I'm usually on by between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Thanks, Pink.
Good. Well, is there anything else you would like to inform these guys of, or are we going to let you go?
I don't really have anything else. I mean, I do a lot of wild special effects here. I mean, we'll pull out up here. I know Scantron's going to be pulling up here soon with his car, but you know, we get special guests. You know, we get Hoops who comes through.
Eat a French.
I keep telling him he's not going to get tipped with that attitude. We get Frank Oldman. He comes by, gets his free coffee.
Nipple stickers.
You know, all sorts of different things, you know. It's been great. Oh, Frank Oldman, him and I go way back. We've known each other like on the stream for years, so I knew him prior to being Frank.
That's awesome. All right, you guys, make sure you have Vibe favorited. Vibe, thank you so much for being here. I told you today was going to be an awesome show. I told you.
See you guys later.
Thank you so much. Bye, Vibe. All right, you guys, we're after 11, so I just want to go in. I too. Oh my gosh! Hi, Ninja. That one's funny. I thank you. I too am in the Kitty Commander battle August 20th, and for those of you that would like to be in my Shooting for the Moon battle, it will be a one and done with a twist. The top two will compete against each other. Thank you. Okay, so it's going to be a one and done for everybody except the top two out of all of them. The top two highest gifters will then compete the next night. Okay, or should we just do it the next that same night, Kitty? We'll figure that out. But there will be the top two will go against each other again. Thank you, too, right? Thank you, everybody, for all the gifts. Thank you, everybody, for the favorites, the gifts, to everything. This is crazy. But I like to, let me make sure I'm not missing anything on the closing statement. My August 20th, I think that's all I have, right? Oh, House of Honeys, July 30th. We have the House of Honeys. So if you're a newer streamer and you've got questions and you'd like them to be answered and you would like to have access to experienced streamers on the regular, please talk to me when I come back here at 11:30. Or you can reach out to me any other day that I'm on, because I'm on a lot as well. But we're going to end with the quote and the question. We don't answer the question now. We save it till next Friday morning, and we'll answer this at like 10:04 next week, okay? So, you may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. Listen one more time. You may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. Now, what food would you like to try that you have never eaten? It's a very silly question with that quote, but it needed to go. And I figure I'll get most of you to answer this one next week, okay? You may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. What food would you like to try that you have never eaten? All right, you guys? That being said, make sure that we are favoriting my gifters, especially